Hey, this is Lacey, your Las Vegas gal. This is my buddy Battleborn Steve
Hello.
Carter. He's
How's
on
it
the
going?
Cerrone group. We had some trouble connecting because we tried to do something different for you today. We did a poll on my Instagram and we were asking everybody, where do you want to see us do our next live? We want to answer your Q&A, do a Q&A about all your questions about what the hell's going on with the real estate industry, right? So everybody voted and they said, please take us to a hidden gem inside Las Vegas. So we decided to come to a place that we recently came, did some photo shoots, things like that. And we're in what I'm calling, this is not the official name for this, but I'm calling this a secret graffiti museum. What do you think?
Yeah, it's a good secret graffiti museum photo co-op spot.
Co-op spot,
yeah,
right?
For sure.
So where we are is we're located downtown Las Vegas. If you're in Vegas and you want to pop by and say hi, please do. Just keep your clothes on so and don't get in trouble with YouTube. Let me move this up so we don't cut off your head. I'm standing on my tiptoes.
I was like 4 feet back.
I know. Come on closer.
Okay, there we go.
So Steve is on the Cerrone group with me. He and I serve many of you who come through Las Vegas. Many of you might actually know Steve.
I see you on there, Rodney. How you doing, buddy?
We know you, Rodney. Hey, Kelly. Good to see you too. So thanks for joining us live. For those of you who are able to stay, we're sorry we're starting a little bit late. Signal downtown Vegas, when you have a phone like mine, which is T-Mobile, not the greatest.
Even Verizon was pretty crappy.
Verizon was kind of crappy too. So anyway, we're here now and that's what matters. So really what we want to talk about is what the hell is going on with the real estate market here in Las Vegas, right, Steve?
Yeah, it's pretty weird. It's
weird is a good word.
To say the least,
yeah.
Right?
We'll walk you around before we leave so you can take a look at kind of what we're talking about with this secret graffiti museum. And just stay tuned because on my channel in the next few days, I have a fun video that I'm going to share where I show you all of it. So stay tuned on that. Don't worry about what's behind us.
Did you put him there because of me?
This guy, I really love this guy right here. This is, if you're a Goonies fan, which I know I am, I know you probably are. If you grew up with the Goonies, it's the best.
Never say die.
And if you want, you could just go to Steve's Instagram right now, Battleborn Steve, just for shits and giggles, because that's what we do here in Las Vegas. Steve took a photo next to Chunk back there doing the truffle shuffle, and it's pretty epic. I don't know.
But I'm not going to show you. I'm not.
I mean, you sure?
It's on my OnlyFans.
Could you do it for us right now? Okay, we're going to have Steve do that for you. If this turns you off, I'm sorry, but we're having fun today. All right, Steve, do the truffle shuffle, Steve. Truffle shuffle. Okay. Now we're going to talk about real estate. Thanks for sticking around and thanks for enduring that. I love you for doing that for me.
Sure.
So let's talk about real estate for sure. Please drop your questions in the comment box. We're really excited to be able to answer questions because we know there's a lot of them out there. But let's just give maybe an overview of the last few months.
Okay.
What's your opinion in the last few months of just what's been going on not down here, but just down in Vegas in general?
Yeah. I'm sure it's the same in a lot of other markets as well right now, but we just have a crazy shortage of inventory.
Yeah.
So that makes it really hard for buyers trying to get into homes, but it's still possible.
Yeah.
I think that's really caused, I'm sure you watch tons of videos on why, especially from Lacey, but we have low interest rates, right?
Yeah.
We have very few homes. We've had over 20,000 people move to Las Vegas alone
since January. Yeah. There's like 4,000 a month or something coming in, right?
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
And we service a ton of them.
Yes.
So thank you very much.
Yes,
but I mean, it's causing a frenzy. So people are trying to sell, but then they don't have any place to move. And I think that's really what's causing it.
Yeah, we're really seeing a lot of frustration, I guess, throughout the valley, but throughout the nation, truly, because a lot of you are reaching out to us saying, hey, I'm going to sell my house in Minnesota or New York or California or whatever, and I'm ready. I'm coming with money. I'm ready to go. And we're stoked, right? You have money, you're pre-qualified, you're buying cash, whatever that looks like. And then you get here and it is offer after offer after offer. Most of the time, I'd say our team does pretty well with kind of negotiating and getting us in. We get more approved than most, I would say.
We have a lot of really good tactics, too, but a lot of it depends on what you're able to do.
So I had a live video with Amber this week where we talked a little bit about loans and how there are still free money programs available and all kinds of really great stuff. But at the end of the day, all that's wonderful if you can find a house to buy.
Yeah.
So, we're really in a position now where we have to be super strategic up front. We have to have the hard conversations up front. And in fact, one of our great clients, Kelly McCauley, he's commenting right now. He's going to be here next week and we're going to be doing our first round of shopping.
Awesome.
And we've had it even just in our virtual tours. We're doing virtual tours for people so that before they get here, they can put an offer in. And then when they get here, they can do the inspection and see the house.
Yeah.
And we've already had
You almost have to within 24 to 48 hours. Like even with just, if you kind of like the area or you think you like the area, it's probably worth it just to throw one at it because it's going to be gone by the time you get here.
Yeah. So even with Kelly, we've gone and done a couple of video tours for him. And we're even getting declined as we show up for our appointment. They're like, oh, sorry, we just accepted an offer.
Yeah.
You can't even show the house. So it's just become a bit of a conundrum. And I'm trying to make sure that we're not scaring you away. You know, we definitely still want you to be excited about moving to Vegas, but we want you to come and know what to expect and know that we're here to fight the good fight for you, but just know what to expect.
Well, I mean, because the other option, if you don't find a home, is rentals, which is even harder to get into.
Yes,
So that's kind of, you could stay at the Luxor for a really long time if you want.
Yeah. I mean, we can find you an Airbnb somewhere, right? I don't know. $200 a night. I don't know.
But I think it is weeding out the people who are just like casually thinking about buying a home, as opposed to people that are like, I'm buying a home. I'm doing a big move for my family.
Yeah.
Vegas is my new place, and that's why we're here helping you guys.
Yeah.
So we did have a question here too. So how does one get pre-approved? So we have a lot of lenders that we really recommend. Like you can see some more videos from like Amber Coleman at Guild Mortgage. She can walk you down all of the financial things, and she's absolutely fantastic.
She's amazing. And what I want to say about, let's talk about the lending process too, because that's actually making it whether you get approved or you don't, based on even the banks you're using, even the lenders you're using. A lot of these sellers don't want to have anything to do with a bank that's not locally based out of Vegas, or at least has representation out of Vegas, because at the end of the day, Wells Fargo doesn't care if you close your loan on time. Chase Bank doesn't care if you close your loan on time. They're going to close it on their timeline.
And they're not picking up their phones after 5 p.m.
No, not even after 4:30 p.m. actually. So we're really kind of seeing a lot of really kind of quirky nuances happening. Oh, we've got some visitors coming. This is fun. So we're really, this is what happens when you go like live in Las Vegas and you're downtown and there's all kinds of people walking around and you're doing the truffle shuffle, and
there might be poop next to Lacey.
There might be poop next to me.
Here.
We're not going to look down. We're just not. We're in an alley in downtown Vegas.
The things we do for you guys.
Anyway, so when you're looking at pre-approval, it's really important to talk to a mortgage broker and someone who's based here.
Who's local.
Amber Coleman's amazing. We have several others we can certainly send you to. We don't get to choose the lender. You do.
And we don't get anything, too. Full disclosure, we don't get anything. We just like to work with people that we know can get the shit done.
Get it done.
When they say they're going to get it done. Yeah. And they'll actually, if I need to talk to Amber at 8 o'clock on a Saturday night, she's my girl.
That's my girl there.
That's awesome.
Yeah. All right. Let's look at some of these questions. Please, this is a live Q&A. It's for you. We want to answer your questions. I'm going to try to not stand. Look, if I don't stand on my toes, this is how tall I really am. So I'm going to keep standing on my ballet toes.
I'll do this.
I'm just going to be doing ballet here, doing releves while we answer your questions. But we've got questions in the box. Please keep dropping them in. We want to make sure that we're getting you set up so you're ready to roll. And let's just say this before we move on. There's two things I need you to do. Number one, if you're really considering moving here, not thinking about it, but just, even just mulling it over a bit, click the link in the button or in the description below. Click that link. Let us set up a call with you. We're not going to sell you something. We just want to make sure we answer those questions. And then from a Steve perspective, this is my man, Steve. He's one of my closest friends. He's one of our best agents. He's born and raised,
really good looking,
a stunningly gorgeous man. Very James Dean-esque. He likes
super rich,
whatever. We're so not rich. Anyway, but he, outdoors, loves Vegas, loves this city because he was born and raised here. So do me a huge favor. If you're on Instagram, Battleborn Steve, he also has a channel with some pretty dope videos with neighborhood tours and some stuff that I'm not even doing. That even looks better than some of my videos because you're an awesome editor. So I will put his link in the description below so you can follow him. Please subscribe to his channel. We want to help him grow like you guys have helped me grow. Okay, now that my pitch is over,
thank you.
I'm going to continue to do releves. Yes, I know. All right, so let's see. We've got
how's the market for condos?
Mayo, how's the market for condos? Would it be better to start with a condo since there is low inventory on homes? There's low inventory on.
Sorry.
First of all, there's a helicopter tour happening.
Get a bird.
Get a bird. There is low inventory on condos as well, but there's still some available, right?
The big problem with condos, and it depends what type of financing you're doing too, but the problem we had with condos even before this happened is that a lot of the condominium complexes won't let you do FHA. So if you're going to be doing FHA, I'd rather you save up a couple $1,000s extra, get you into a townhome because that'll be a lot easier and you can get approved anywhere as opposed to the limited places that will actually let you do an FHA loan.
Do you see why he's on the Sarong group? Do you see why I align myself? We know what we're doing, okay? And we want to make sure you know what you're doing. What am I doing with my sunglasses here? Okay. Thank you for the short-term rental video. Is it realistic to think that I could find a short-term rental property that I can also live in? Yeah, absolutely. Budget's going to make a big difference when it comes to that, and area is going to make a huge difference. That's what the videos were all about. It's about, there are such weird rules around each area of town, North Las Vegas, Aliante, Henderson, Las Vegas. We want to make sure we're finding the exact location. That might be where everybody else is looking for those short-term rentals too, because they're trying to cash in on having cash from selling their home in California or something like that and coming on over. So we want to make sure that yes, it's possible, right? But we just have to be pretty strategic. We have to look at your budget level to give you an idea of what you're going to be up against. And then we have to make sure that your budget's going to match to the area that you need to buy to be able to do short-term rentals. So really good question. Thank you, Maya. Somebody said, Mazi says, thank you. Oh, that was the same question twice. Okay, Rodney, I know Steve, he got me, but what are some of the strategies I can prepare to make sure I can get my offer approved? Thank you.
I got you, Rodney. But for everyone else,
good question, Rodney.
The big thing we're doing, and I talk about this a lot on my YouTube channel as well. But and I was doing this before. Also, all this rush has come. But if you have any extra income you can use, any disposable cash that you can then put as a guaranteed funds above the appraisal price, that's really what sellers are looking for. Sellers are getting greedy and they're looking for a bottom line. And to find out a cash offer, the reason everyone likes cash offers is because there's no appraisal. That is what they're going to get. So anything we can guarantee, someone, let's say the home's priced at $200,000 and someone just makes an outlandish offer at $250,000. If it's not going to appraise for $250,000, it's just, it's a wish, right? But sellers do get enamored with that, but guaranteeing some sort of funds, whether it's $3,000, $5,000 above the appraised value, that's what's going to really help you get a deal in.
And how people list a home. Let's just think about what goes through the mind of someone who's listing the home, especially in this kind of a market. So all of these people who are going, I'm going to do the cash grab, I'm going to make that quick, fast money on this house that I've been sitting on for 3, 5, 10, 12 years. They're talking to their realtors. If they're speaking to our team, we're going to be honest and we're going to tell them, you can definitely get more money than you would think for your home, but we want to be reasonable because at the end of the day, we're still responsible to hold the homes in somewhat of a normal, authentic, realistic light rather than turning into LA or something within 14 minutes. So we have to make sure that we temper that with here's what the comps are, here's what we're seeing they're going for, let's list it here so that we're not starting here and then expecting people to go here. So, but a lot of times they're looking at that and they're saying, fine, I'll list it at the normal price of what it's comped out at, let's say $369 or something like that. We already know if we go at where it's comped at, then other agents are not going to come in expecting you to be unreasonable from day one. So it helps them come in and do that. But then you coming in, you have to guarantee the $369 or whatever that number is. And then above that, it may not appraise for even $369. It might appraise for $350 because they didn't list it where it's supposed to go. You have to be willing to cover the spread between where it comes in, wherever that is, and what you actually offered with cash outside of your loan. So
I'll give you a real world example. This just happened to me a couple months ago. Sean, if you're watching this, he scored. But we were looking in a really coveted area in Northwest called Providence. I'm sure you've heard of it. And the home was listed at $336,000. I had just listed a home and sold it a couple blocks away for $340,000. So I already knew the comps. I knew it was a little high. It didn't have as big of a lot as the one I had listed, but still we had an idea. I called the agent. She gave me a little bit more information than she probably should have. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. And she told me that someone made an outlandish offer at $350,000. Okay. It was priced at $336,000. And I said, are they guaranteeing any funds? She said, no. I said, okay, cool. Went back with my client. They also had 8 other offers. It had only been on the market for, I think,
like a day and a half?
48 hours. So we came back. We came with a game plan. We offered them $350,000 just because why not dangle a carrot in front of their face, right? And then we offered them $10,000 above the appraised value, not to exceed our offer amount of $350,000. So in the worst, and my client, I told him, you have to be comfortable with if by some weird chance it appraises at $350,000, you're okay to pay that, right? We're not going to just say that and you're not okay with it. And sorry for the noises. Anyways, it appraised at $326,000. So he paid $336,000. They agreed on it, and he just closed yesterday. So
and again, how that works is he said $350,000. They got dangled. They got excited, but they only guaranteed this $10,000, right? Up to $350,000. So that protects you as the buyer. It lets the seller know you got to be willing to take a risk. If your agent listed it high, that's your bad. That's your agent's bad. But our people are going to be covered, right? So we really do look out for you when it comes to that. Even with my client Kelly, who's going to be here next week, we've talked a lot about that. We've said even restructuring your loan, making sure that hey, the best scenario for my monthly payment with my loan is this. I do have this money over here, so if I had to, I could add less of a down payment here and just play with the numbers, move it all around on the table and be willing to work on it. Thank you, Bill. Did we just get money from someone for talking about Las Vegas?
Oh.
What? Oh. I've never had that happen in a live chat. Thanks, Bill. You're my first.
What's my split?
It's $4.99. You get $1.50. Okay, cool. He gets about $1. Anyway, all right. Let's go through and answer some more questions. This is for you, so please drop your questions down below.
I have an OnlyFans as well. If you want to subscribe, see feet pics, whatever you want.
Does not have an OnlyFans.
I don't have an OnlyFans.
He has an OnlyFans for his feet. I'm kidding. Anyway, okay, we're gonna keep talking here. Let's see. Great energy. Thank you so much, Dylan. Love you guys. Lacey, any pre-construction homes? Hey, McLevin. Oh, I love you. You always come on my lives. Any pre-construction homes available in Summerlin, 4,000 to 5,000 square feet with rooftop decks? So let's talk about pre-construction for a minute. Let's talk about new homes for a minute. Okay. New homes normally would be what we would kind of urge you to look at and push you to look at in a market like this. A lot of the new home builders are not even releasing lots, and they're not even taking reservations on anything right now, because let's put your mind in the mindset of a builder. We're seeing extreme rapid growth that we know is going to level off. It's going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine. But we're in a moment, right? In this moment, if I'm a builder and I have 4 lots available that I can let you come and reserve the lot and then choose your home and then pick your, cabinets and your floor and all that, that's wonderful and great. But I'm selling it to you at today's prices. And as we're seeing this creep up, I'm going to be out in a big way as a builder, because by the time I'm done building in 9 months, 10 months, whatever that looks like.
Well, that's a key point too, because there's labor shortages with tradesmen.
There
is lumber and just materials in general. I've heard of, builders like Pulte that couldn't get specific refrigerators and washer and dryers for a year.
And they can't sell you the house without the appliances. They can't sell you the house.
They were robbing the model to fulfill one of the deals to get it closed.
Yeah, so it's
not to say that you can't do it.
Yeah, there will be more new homes available, but I really think the new homes are going to be more of a thing later this year and early next year, because they want to see what happens. They want to see what's going on with all the vibe in terms of the uprising.
But there are still some builders. I think it depends on the price point we're really looking at. Some of the builders like Lennar and also D.R. Horton, a lot of them, they tend to build one way. So they're already doing it. They're going to have them ready, and they won't even sell it to you till they're probably like 2 months out. So some homes like that, and we can help you find out which ones are the ones you should be looking at. Those are probably the ones that you should go after. It's the higher priced ones where it's going to take them 8 months
square feet, which was the question. Like 4,000 to 5,000 feet, I would say no. I would say no, but not no forever. Just no, not right in this moment. But it doesn't mean you can't look for a resale that might be that large. And that's a little bit of a higher budget bracket anyway. 4,000 to 5,000 square foot home here in Vegas is definitely going to be in the 7,000 or 700,000 and above range, right? At least. So in that budget, you have a little bit less competition. It's a little bit less of an issue, but there's still definitely the competition there. So, okay. Hey, David. Hey. All right. Let's see what else we've got here. Wanting to buy a townhome in Northwest Las Vegas right away, but feeling discouraged at the moment. Do you think that there will be much change by the fall? Ooh, man, we both got real quiet, didn't we?
I hope so.
I hope so.
There's 2 factors. One's inventory, and that could also be just with the rental.
Yeah.
If they lift the moratorium, people are able to start doing evictions, and we can start getting some more inventory in the market, and people can feel more confident to sell their homes. Then yes. But I think it'll take a little while.
Yeah, I think if we don't see the moratoriums lifted, I think we're looking at probably early next year before we see something. But my gut says with the city opening to 100% by June 1st, that's currently the plan. I know that the moratorium and the eviction process is a lengthy one, but we are still in the spring. So by fall, I'm gonna vote for. I think we're gonna see a slight lift in inventory, and I think we're gonna be good. I do also think though that we're gonna see a lift in our interest rates, which might slow things down, which is the strangest thing ever to say out loud, that I hope interest rates lift a little, because it could take the feeding frenzy down a bit. So good questions. Oh my God, you guys are awesome. Okay. How long does it take? Oh, sorry. Can you recommend some good landscapers? Kaiser, yes. So I work with a great landscaper, that a women-owned business, small business here in Vegas. You can find them on Instagram, Green with Envy. That's ENVIE, Green with Envy Landscaping. Let them know that Las Vegas Gal sent you, and they'll take good care of you. They served a lot of our clients in town. Do you have anybody that you use?
I do. His name is Marcos, and he doesn't have social media, so just follow me, and I'll let you know.
Send him a DM. He'll send you the info. Now you have to follow first, though, because that's the rules, right?
There you go.
Yeah. Okay. Who else? How long does the buying process usually take? 30 days? 35 days maybe?
For resale. Resale. If you once you're into contract, about 30 days. You might be looking for a couple weeks longer than that now. But right around 30 days still.
30 to 45 days.
They've been really good.
And that's another reason why a local lender makes so much sense and is so important, because you won't be approved by the seller typically if you're using a larger bank, because they will not be able to do it in 30 days. They're typically moving at 40 to 42 days as of right now. So another one there. Okay. First of all, love your hair. Hey, Sonadora 5. First of all, love your hair, Lacey. Thank you. Are rent-to-own programs a good option? If so, will that help improve my credit to become eligible for a purchase of a home? So I do not believe that rent-to-own is even really much of an option in Las Vegas right now. I don't know of very many doing it. And the only way it's going to help your credit is if the person who you're renting to own from is willing to actively go in and report to the bureaus that you're paying on time. The best way to really help your credit is if you can get a secured credit card from, and I learned this from Amber Coleman, so I'm not a lender and I'm not a credit specialist, and that's my disclaimer.
Full disclosure.
Full disclosure. But if you get a secured credit card, go to your bank and tell them, I want to give you $300. I want you to give me a secured credit card in return, and then you use it as if it's a credit card, but it's your own money, and then you can pay that off with your own money. It actually builds your credit pretty quickly, and within 30 days you can see some pretty big jumps. And another little tip and trick is if you have a friend or family member who has excellent credit and has a credit card, ask them if they're willing to add your name to the credit card as an authorized user for 30 to 60 to 90 days. And you will see massive spikes in your amazing credit score, and you don't have access to the card. You don't use the card. It's not like you're going to ruin their credit, but it does help you, and it doesn't ding them one bit. So,
or
two tips.
You could also ask them to get you a credit card on their account like a normal person, and then you could just get fun things from Best Buy, Amazon,
buy
ship it
stuff,
to your
use
house,
it for Steve's OnlyFans
thank
account.
you,
Look
pay
at
me. I would do that for sure. No, but if you are looking at the rent-own, I've never heard any good things about rent-own.
No.
I feel like they really kind of prey on people who can't come up with a down payment or good credit. So typically they're setting you on a today's price, which can look really nice, but it's normally the contract's normally worked out for them to be able to do this multiple times to different people.
Right.
So.
Right. We've got a bike tour coming in behind us. This is going to be fun. Oh, not a bike tour, but a Segway tour. Let's show them.
Oh, okay.
You guys are live on YouTube. Say hi.
Hi.
Are you having fun in Las Vegas? Yay! Awesome. Cool. We are Las Vegas guy and Las Vegas gal down here in the downtown area looking at some poo, but we're having fun and doing the truffle shuffle. Okay, we're not going to show you the poo. Okay, let's see here. Oh my God, so many good questions. Okay, I'm interested in a great retirement spot, active places, new construction. What sections are best to look at? So there's an area called Cadence that's in kind of an older part of Henderson. It's sort of on the way to Lake Las Vegas and on the way to Lake Mead.
Next to it, yeah.
Gorgeous, beautiful new homes. They have one of the best, I would say, one of the best retirement communities, 55 plus. We call them active adult communities here in Las Vegas. We don't make you all feel old because you're not old. Like
55 is not that old.
Like 15 years older than me right now, right? Or 13 years older than me. Anyway, so it's really cool. So we would love to show you that, Bill. So if you want to just click the link in the description, we can certainly send you some information on that. And then there's one other one that's in Summerlin. It's in South Summerlin, actually.
There's a few, like the Del Webb communities, Sun City, Summerlin.
Sun City, Henderson, Green Valley.
And then Sienna in Summerlin is 55 and older.
Oh,
so it just depends on the price range. You know, Regency.
Regency is the one I was just talking about. Yeah, that's more of a Toll Brothers. That's a
gorgeous,
higher end, much bigger budget, but that's in South Summerlin as well. So we have lots of options for you, and some of those builders are actually still building, and they're not in the conundrum that some of the others are because it's such a niche market. So it's good to know. I love that we had a Segway tour come by. Like how awesome, right? Waiting for like the boost. No, I haven't. I don't think I could balance it.
I feel like I would eat it.
You would totally eat it, and I would pay to watch that. Okay, let's see. All right. Hey, Rick. Hey. All right. How you doing? Rick's Reviews. Kelly's here. All right. I'm trying to move by this year. Would it be best to contact Amber first, then you, or both? Maya, first of all, thank you for asking. We don't really care, but since you're watching us right now, let's just make this easy, okay? Go to the description below, click that link. We'll get you dialed in. Just let them know that you saw the live chat and let them know that, you need to be connected with Amber. We don't mind. We route everybody wherever they need to go, but our team's already set up and dialed in, and we're ready to chat. So let's do it. All right. How long does the buying process start? Oh, my God, I love this. Okay. What sections have the best retirement spots, great amenity type spots?
Kind of just hit that.
I know that was more neighborhoods, but I guess we kind of hit that. Okay, we'll keep going here. Have you been to the El Cortez website lately, Gail? So hey, David, it's actually Las Vegas Gal, and my name's Lacey, but I love that you call me Gail because it kind of makes me feel like I have an alter ego. But I keep calling me Gail.
You look like a Gail.
Like a Gail?
With your new haircut.
Don't make fun of my hair. Okay. But have I been to the El Cortez website lately? No. They're using my image? Oh my God, am I famous right now? What?
Okay.
I'm totally checking that out.
That's
and now
cool.
Because you told me that, I'm totally going to absolutely let you call me Gail for the rest of our lives.
That's awesome.
Rodney says, we're the best. We love you too. Thank you. And I'm still younger. Can I marry a 55 plus lady so I can qualify for a 55 community?
That was my plan from when I was 18.
Rick.
You can marry more in a minute than you can make in your lifetime. So shoot for the stars. Go for it. All right.
So one thing you need to know about Steve and why we are such good friends is I'm super goofy and weird, if you haven't noticed. Steve's more goofy and more weird, and he's braver than I am. So he actually helps me be silly and stupid and talks about OnlyFans on YouTube, and it's probably going to get me
That's just
in
for
trouble.
feet. It's just for feet, right?
Sure it is. Yeah, sure. So yes, you can. So just so you know, in those 55 plus communities, those active adult communities, if you're a resident, they do require that one person in the home is above age. 55 plus. We got deliveries happening and everything. This is so much fun. But then they do have rules around anybody that stays in the home
children
overnight. They have to be 19 years and above. And like, there's some stuff like that. So there are rules, but yeah, dude, just go marry yourself a cougar. Get it done.
Do it. Send pics.
Cadence, Bill Clark. Thank you. Yes, Bill, email us. We'll get you dialed in with the information. Discount on car insurance too. Yeah, you can get discount on car insurance if you marry an older woman. Did you know that?
Oh, you can?
Older woman only or older man too?
Older man as well?
My daughter got a job at Tahiti Village in Las Vegas. Cool, Ivy.
Cool.
That's awesome. Congrats. That's good to hear that people are getting work again and things are reopening.
Yeah.
Drop some questions in if you have any more questions specifically about real estate or Vegas or moving here or Steve's Truffle Shuffle. I'm going to make him go do it again before we get off of here because I'm sure any of you.
Pictures of you handing keys to the valet. Okay.
Oh,
that's hilarious.
Okay,
that's awesome.
I'm definitely gonna go check out that photo on the El Cortez website. I might need to be paid royalties or something.
I think so.
Anyway, but definitely keep dropping in your questions. But at the end of the day, I think let's kind of start to wrap up until we see more questions and just basically say like, we don't want you to lose hope, right?
Yeah.
We don't. We want you to be realistic though, because at the end of the day, this is your time, our energy, your energy, and we don't want it to start off. I mean, you're supposed to be living your best Las Vegas life, and we don't want it to start off limping, right? Or with a broken foot, because that's kind of what it's going to feel like. So when you guys are doing this process of going through buying a house, people like Steve are on the team who we're just going to be real with you. We're always just going to give it to you straight. Not a lot of real estate professionals are willing to do that because they're scared that then you'll just run away and not buy. We don't want you to buy if it's not the right time to buy. We want you to buy. We want you to buy with us. Obviously, this is how we make our living. But at the end of the day, genuinely, you have to be on the right place. We have to be at the right place to make this work. So I say it a lot. And I know he knows that I say this a lot. We have people that we've been talking to for 3 years, 4 years that are still not planning to move here for what? Another 2, 5, 7, 10, right?
But they offer to take us to dinner when they're in town.
They do. We do love that.
Do,
and we do appreciate it. Lawana says, is it hard to buy a home from a bank as a second home? Home was a foreclosure. If the home was a foreclosure. Hard to buy a home from a bank as a second home. So it's not hard to buy a home as a second home at all, as long as you're approved with your debt to income ratio with whatever home or bills that you currently have and you have enough left over to be able to afford both.
There's a higher minimum down payment that's required as opposed to like the 3% or 5% for like a conventional.
Yeah.
I believe it's 10% for second home. But that's it. I mean, what you're really looking at, maybe we could just say, what are some of the opportunities right now in the real estate market? So it's not just so doom. Let's give you a little bit of light.
No doom, no gloom. Okay. Let's do some light.
Because there are some highlights. I think if anyone doesn't have to move out here right away, but they're able to buy a home, there's a lot of homes that are for sale that have a tenant.
Yeah.
We can find out if that tenant's going to be out this month or if they'll be out in 6 months.
Yeah.
So if that's an option for you, especially as a second home, and then when you move here, you can turn it into your primary residence, you can be a winner because there's so many people that are moving to Vegas right now that don't have that option that just can't get a home because they can't have a tenant.
And those with the tenants, just so you know, so a lot of people are showing, in fact, our client Kelly, who's coming in next week, there's 3 or 4 homes on the list that he wants me to look at that have a tenant and they're not allowing showings because it's a tenant, because of COVID and all the rules. So there's our moments of opportunity where you can get in, but the problem is you have to write the offer, not seeing anything other than what's online, and then we're allowed once we write the offer to get in and get inspections and do, of course, the proper.
They just try to limit the showings.
They do. They limit it. So
but that does help you. So that's a highlight. If that's an option, it can be a big pro for you because you can actually get into a place with a lot less competition.
Yeah. So. Foreclosures are not a hard thing at all. They're just time consuming. Sometimes if they're in the beginning stage of the foreclosure, it's going to take a little bit longer for you to be able to actually get approved. So if you're looking to buy a second home, foreclosure is definitely an option. Short sales, which I haven't seen many.
There's not many of either because there's so much equity in most of the homes.
Yeah, but there are some. I mean, we have about 1,400 homes in the valley right now, period, available for sale. 4,000 people a month moving here. Again, that's doom and gloom, but the highlight in that is things like probate court. People who pass away, unfortunately, and then their house is left behind and they didn't leave a will. Those take sometimes 6, 7, 8 months. Most buyers who need to move here buy right now are not even considering those. So those are other opportunities. Something that a lot of people are doing that I want to warn you of and just kind of make sure that you're not going to get caught in this is with COVID and everybody now sort of being able to work from home for the most part, other than like people who have physical jobs they have to go to, are getting a little tricky because people are making the assumption they're never going to go back to work, right? And then they're applying for loans, and then I'm going to move to Vegas and I'm going to buy this as a second home, and then they're quitting their job knowingly that they're not going to really be working from home because their job or whatever, or their boss doesn't tell them they're allowed to work from home. And then they go to verify your loan and they call your boss and say, do they really work there? And the boss says, yeah, well, why? Because they're buying a home in Las Vegas. I didn't tell them that they could move to Las Vegas and work from home there. So two things right there that I want you to just be very careful of. A, don't quit your job while you're in the loan, first of all.
Yeah.
And don't knowingly get a loan because it's illegal. It's fraud. Do not knowingly get a loan knowing that you're going to quit as soon as you move here and try to find another job. And if you're going to do that, just don't tell us because we're not allowed to know. We really want to make sure we keep our licenses straight. And then at the end of the day, beyond that, just make sure that if you're going to apply, if you're going to try to move to Vegas and you believe you can work remotely, just make sure you get your boss to put it in writing for you and bring that with you to the lender so that they can have that dialed in and ready to go and you don't have any issues at the end of the process because you could lose money, time, and it can be really frustrating.
So that sounded gloomy though. We're going to talk about pros.
No, you said pros and then I said, let me warn you on some stuff. You can still do all of that, but there's the things that you can, don't make me, get out of here. You can do that, but you have to just make sure that you don't make those mistakes.
Whatever.
That's the sunrise in it is if you do those things, you'll get the house.
Okay.
I'm gonna punch you.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
He's like my kid brother that I just does the truffle shuffle all the time. Anyway, if there are any other questions, please drop them down there. We've got someone down here. This is Charlie Garcia says we're moving to Vegas in a month and we're paying cash up to $275. What areas are available? East Las Vegas has got some pretty good opportunities over there, and that's kind of an emerging area of town now. It's got a few years to go before it's really going to be like as connected as I think as the other parts of town. But the East Side's got some good stuff. Downtown might have a few.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? Condos would be an option for that price point.
I would say townhouses for sure.
Yeah.
I think we could find something like that all day long.
Yeah.
Cash. There's some really great areas in North Las Vegas too, and we also do other videos too. But like North Las Vegas is freaking awesome.
And it's huge.
Yeah, it's huge.
Amazing.
It's new. And there's on Decatur and 215 North. There's every amenity you could ever want.
It's awesome,
Yeah.
and a lot of it's brand new.
Yeah.
And what I love about North Las Vegas I'll be very honest. If you would have asked me 4 or 5 years ago, would you buy a house in North Las Vegas? I was still, because I wasn't in real estate yet, still very closed-minded, thinking that it was Fremont Street and that it was the areas that we should, be watching out for and all of that. But I just never, even living here that long, never really had explored. And once I started exploring and realized like the parks and the amenities and the houses and the gorgeous golf. I mean, there's golf courses galore.
Aliante, you have their own casino, VA hospital
Amazing.
out there.
Yeah, so North Las Vegas would be a really good option for that price point. And they are still pretty kind of holding steady a little bit. They're definitely on the creep up, but because North Las Vegas is, I think, a little bit less known, you're right. It's a really good option. So I'd say, Spring Valley might have a few options for you as well. Honestly, Charlie, the best thing you can do is click the link in the description below, and we can certainly answer those questions and set you up with a search so you can start seeing what the heck's available, what's not, and we'll go from there. All right, let's see if we have any more questions. I don't see any more questions. Does anybody want to see him do the truffle shuffle again? Because, we do have Chunk behind us. I'll do the truffle shuffle. I don't have a truffle. I don't have the truffle.
I don't have a truffle either. What are you saying? You saying I have a truffle?
Mm-hmm. Oh, Rick's review says yes. Let's go both do the truffle shuffle. All right, now you're going to see how tall I really am not. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Okay. See, I don't have any truffle, but he does.
I don't know. That's a 6-pack.
Do it. I missed the truffle shuffle. Claudia needs us to do it again.
Sorry, Claudia. I can't subscribe to my OnlyFans page.
Seriously, though, we like to have a good time. Steve and I are, we're buddies, and he's going to be on the channel a lot more. Before we go, please do us a favor. Subscribe to Battleborn Steve. Just Google it, search it on YouTube, Battleborn Steve. I will drop it in the description below after we're done and in the comment box. Go on to Instagram, Battleborn Steve. This is my man. He's the best. He's funny as hell. He has a great time, and he knows everything there is to know about Vegas and cars and cool people and vintage stuff and all that. You can still call me too, but Steve's pretty fun.
Call Gail whenever you want to.
Call Gail. I'm going to go check and see if I'm really being used on the El Cortez website.
The kitty season sneaking up on us? Yes.
Yes, it is, Rick. Yes, it is.
You know. I'll bring my 2-piece next time.
Oh, God. Okay. With that being said, we had some fun today. Just a real quick note on my Instagram at Las Vegas Gal and at Battleborn Steve. We ran a poll. We asked everybody, where do you want us to do this live video? Now, we did take a minute to get online because the signal was kind of funky, but we're going to do more of that. We really want to do a little bit more cross collaboration between